everyone, welcome back to my channel for another Halloween tutorial. Look at this boy, he's just always here. So I'm gonna pin my hair back and he's just so cute. So I'm gonna start off this look by kind of mapping out where I'm gonna be placing my kind of, stitched together Frankenbride, I suppose. So I kind of went off some reference photos and whatnot. I am going to be applying some gloves because I'm going to be working with Prosade. So once this boy gets out of my way, because I don't want to get any Prosade on him, and once I've sketched out my little scar area, or scratch area, or cut area, whatever, I'm going to be working with some Prosade that is thickened. So this is called Bondo. I like working with this the best out of anything. It dries nicely, it stays, I can work with it really easily. So what I'm doing is I'm applying a thick bunch right over that line that I have drawn. I'm going to be doing this all along my cheek and then up along my forehead as well. I'm trying not to go too far into my hairline just because I do have a lot of flyaways and I don't want the Prosade to get into my hair because it can be a little sticky to remove. It's very sticky and needs special removers. It needs isopropyl myricate to remove, so if you're going to be working with it, work with that. The great thing about Bondo is you can clean up the edges with water. So I'm taking a sponge and I'm cleaning up the edges with a very wet, like a soaked sponge, and it kind of like just dissolves the edge so you can blend it really easily into your skin. That's why I love working with Bondo, because it just looks flawless. Like it just will look like your skin. It's my favorite medium to work with. I absolutely love it. So I'm just continuing this on both sides of my cheek area and then my forehead area as well. What comes next is what makes this really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, dab off the excess water, because if that dries, it'll create like a little texture on your skin. So I'm taking a spatula that I've dipped in water and I'm just running it right along, right in the middle of that. And that's going to create the separation of my skin. So instead of painting on or, slopping on two different edges, I'm just creating one and then I'm cutting it down the center to create the separation in my skin. This is just brilliant. This is the easiest way, and that is why I love working with Prosade. I'm going to be putting in some contacts. I first tried these mesh ones that I had here, but then as you see, I actually put on some white ones with the black rim around. I could not see with the mesh ones on. So next I'm going to be doing my brows. I did already start doing one eye. I'm going to be working with this NYX Brow product in the shade Espresso. I should have maybe done them black. Ah well, I am drawing them up and angry and fierce and dominant and very, very thick. I'm not, this is not a natural brow, it is a very dominant brow, which is kind of this whole look. Next, I'm gonna just be cleaning that up with a little bit of concealer and then blending that out onto my eyelid just to cover any, pigmentation on my eyelid. And then I'm also going to prime my eyelid with the Fenty Eyeshadow Primer. I was about to say eyebrow primer. Eyeshadow primer. I love this stuff. So for this smoky, I'm going to be working with the Urban Decay Smokey Palette. I'm going to take the black. It has like almost a slight shimmer in it, actually, but I really love this black because it's so pigmented and it has pretty much no fallout. It just sticks to you. So I'm popping that on kind of in like a winged out giant shape here, and then I'm just blending it right underneath my eye as well. I put the black on first, and then I'm going to pick up the gray on a nice blending brush, and then I'm just going to buff that out. I'm also going to take the lightest tone, which is like a off-white, and I'm just going to highlight right underneath my brow with that just to mattify any, concealer that's underneath there. I'm also going to take a concealer and then I'm going to do a little bit of a cut crease on my eye, and then I'm going to take a nice, beautiful, like emerald green from this Mehron palette. These things are so pigmented, like look at this. Ugh. These palettes are so gorgeous. If you guys are at IMATS, go to the Mehron booth and buy their eyeshadows and their blushes and just everything. It's gorgeous. I just fixed it up with a little bit more black just to blend it in, and then underneath my eye I'm taking the concealer and just, you know, over exaggerating my tear duct there just to give me a really, you know, open, almost like draggy kind of look. I'm next going into this Too Faced palette and picking up this really nice silver. I'm going to be doing something, you know, a little different for the stitches, so I thought I'd bring in a little bit of silver here, and I'm just cleaning up my eyeshadow with a little cotton ball as well. So now that my Prosade has dried a tiny bit, it's not dry, it will completely go clear when it is dry. I'm just powdering it because it's very sticky to the touch, so you have to put powder on it in order to touch it or in order to put anything else on top of it, otherwise everything's gonna just stick to it. So I'm gonna put on my foundation. I'm using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet. I'm addicted to this stuff. You guys have probably seen it in a zillion Halloween tutorials of mine because I cannot get enough of it. So I'm putting that all over my face. I'm not gonna bother with concealer because I'm gonna be highlighting with something different all over my face, and then I'm just blending it right on top of that Prosade to kind of, you know, mimic my skin lifting and being cut and separated, to give it that, you know, Frankenstein look of, you know, two different pieces coming together. So with this white cream, this is what I'm going to be highlighting with. So I'm just taking on my beauty blender and putting it on the high points of my face just to lighten my skin, make me look a little bit, you know, dead. And then to contour, I'm going to be using the NYX Contour Palette. I completely forgot about this thing, and I love this. This is so pigmented. I forgot. I'm mixing two of the, you know, one's cool, one's a little bit, you know, warmer. I'm just kind of contouring with it. And then once I've kind of laid down that base, I'm then going to go into another Mehron palette and pick up this gray. And then I'm just going to cool that down with that gray tone. I didn't want to go directly into the gray because it gets really muddy really fast, and I like the warmth of the contour palette. Now it's time to paint inside my little cuts. I'm taking some color creams, my Makeup Forever. This is kind of a deeper, warmer red. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint that everywhere inside of the cut. You don't have to do this. You can totally just use fake blood, but I find that this creates a little bit more depth and dimension underneath the fake blood. So I'm going to be doing that red all along there, and then I'm also going to go into a black and then just kind of dot it along, you know, every like centimeter or so. And I'm using a tiny little bit of product with these colors. I'm like almost dry brushing it in there. So some of you guys might be triggered by this, okay? I'm gonna be actually sewing this. And the reason I'm dipping this in powder is because it's Prosade. So we dip it in powder so it doesn't stick. And as you could probably tell, my Prosade does not dry yet. So I have tried to do this and realized this is not going to work because my Prosade has not dried enough, and it's just kind of ripping it apart. And now is when I realize this. So I'm gonna move on with the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna do my lips, this nice beautiful deep like ox blood color. It's a Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit, I think it's called. I really enjoy these, and I think they're like $4. You literally can't beat that. I'm gonna prep for lashes by doing a tiny thin wing liner, and then I'm also gonna bring that down angled into my tear duct as well. I'm gonna pop on a little bit of mascara also, and I'm gonna be using the new YSL Mascara. I love this stuff. It smells so good. I love the scent of YSL mascaras. I could just sit there and smell it all day. And I think Boy likes the scent of it too. Lashes I'm using are a pretty bold lash, but like it makes the look. I feel like lashes up against these white contacts is like, it's actually my favorite thing in the whole world. I wish I looked like this every day. It makes my life, honestly. I love it. Okay, so once my lashes are applied, I'm just going to smoke out my eyeshadow a tiny little bit more. As I'm editing this, I literally just got deja vu doing this and saying this. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to take this Wet n Wild highlighter because Wet n Wild highlighters are literally life. Like, look how pigmented this thing is. Just putting that all over my face. Oh my god, I love this. Okay, now I'm going to be sewing this one more time, and I'm so sorry if you guys think this is gross. It's really not. I'm just dragging it right through the Prosade. I'm not stabbing myself. I'm really not. So I'm tying a knot, dragging it through the other side, and then tying another knot. I did do one loop of kind of like stitching through. I didn't really like the look of that, what I'm working on right now, so I did go back and I did change that. But this is what I'm just gonna do. I'm not really doing a certain number. I'm not really spacing them out in any certain way. I'm just kind of freestyling it and just doing it how I feel. And this is really coming together and looking cool. So let's just enjoy this time as I do this. So I did both little areas there. Oh, I love this. Looks good. So for my hair, for this, just, you know, just to finish this off for you guys, I don't really know. I'm just gonna back comb the crap out of my hair. I know typically like her hair is like up and la-di-da-di-da, but that's not really my style. And this is kind of like if Bailey was a bride of Frankenstein, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just back combing the crap out of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Makeup Forever cream again, the white cream, which I'm obsessed with as well. And I'm going to take that on a mascara wand and I'm just going to dot it in there and pick up a lot of this product. And this washes out of your hair, so don't worry about it staying in your hair or whatnot. I'm gonna just take this and then just drag it through my hair. And I'm kind of placing it same as the Bride of Frankenstein, but I'm kind of also, you know, doing my own thing. Again, this is like if Bailey was the Bride of Frankenstein. I also really live for like these white streaks in my hair. I have a lot of gray hair, but like anytime I try and grow it out, I feel like it looks like I'm balding. Anyway, so continuing this, finishing this up, and now what I'm going to do is I bought this tablecloth and I thought this was really cool. Like, okay, this is neat, right? I thought you could actually use this for a veil because it's like, you know, creepy and gross. Is that not the smartest thing ever for like a Bride of Frankenstein? Oh, Bailey, how do you do it? Next, I'm going to just finish this look off with some special effects blood and I'm just painting it right inside of the cuts. And that is literally it for this look. It's so simple. Well, if you know how to sew, it's simple. I mean, I think it just looks so cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. This baby, she's so sweetie. Look at that. It's so sweet.